Hello everyone, and welcome to Vlogtober Day 13. This is Queer Cashier, and yeah, I have my hair and makeup done. Isn't that something? I went to the mall, and at random kiosks they just decided like, hey you, come get your hair done. Come get your makeup done. We're gonna convince you to buy things. Come do it. And like a lot of the times I got suckered into buying things because I'm a total weenie when it comes to saying no to kiosk people and salespeople. Just look at that. We're in some blue and some pink and some. Oh, take a look at these awesome earrings. Yeah, amethyst, and then it's a goddess deity. So, yeah. Anyway, today I'm not really sure what to talk about, so I'm just gonna tell you random stories about all the time, about like some of the times I've messed up, some of the times I messed up while I was studying abroad in Japan, and the various stupidities of my attempts to speak a different language. So I guess one of the first things I'll start with is one of the first things that I started with, and that was my host family asking me, how would you like your coffee? And I was trying to explain to them, I don't mind either way, with or without sugar or creamer. I can drink it black, I can also drink it sweet. Like, whichever you have is good. So instead I was just like, coffee without sugar is good. Coffee with sugar is good. I like coffee. And they were just looking at me like, okay, so which do you want? And I'm a terribly indecisive person, so instead of just making a decision, I tried very hard to say the equivalent of, like, either one is fine. And they had no idea what I was trying to say. So they were like, we'll just go with sweetened. I said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. And they were just kind of like, you could see the look on their face, like, this is going to be a long year, isn't it? Oh, I should tell you how I became their host child too. I actually have the privilege of being someone's drunk mistake. It's awesome. So my host family was out camping with another host family, and they frequently, had host children from other countries, and they were like, yeah, you need to do this, it's such a great experience, it's so much fun, and like they were talking over the campfire and drinks, and eventually Machan and Yochi, that's my host father and host mother, other way around, they decided, yeah, we're gonna do this, and so they said yes, and so, about a week or so later, they got an informational packet on me, the student who was going to be coming to join them, and they were like, oh crap, that's right, we said that we were going to do this. And it was so funny getting to this actual story, because they were like, well, Rena and Nana have always wanted to have a host sister, and Rena's like, I never said that. And so I thought that was great. So that's the story. I get to be the drunk mistake, and I love it. For a while on my Tumblr, that was my cue, but a lot of people were sending me really concerned, like, messages, like, are you okay? I'm like, no, guys, it's hilarious. But I realize, it's making light of an issue that, like, could be serious for other people, so, like, that probably wasn't the, most sensitive thing I could have done. So I hope I didn't offend anyone, and I hope I didn't offend anyone by telling this story either. If I did, let me know. Like, I'm really sorry. I sincerely apologize for being offensive. So what else? At the 7-Elevens, yes, 7-Elevens are everywhere, at least in the Osaka region where I was. I was in Hirokatashi, which is in Osaka, and I lived in Kitanakaburi, which is like one of the, it's close by, it's one of, like, I guess, like, kind of like the equivalent of a suburb, and that's where my host family lived. But Hirokatashi was where I went to school. I went to Kansai Gaidai University. Fantastic place. It was just brimming with language and just all these awesome opportunities, and I'm so thankful that I got the chance to go there. But there is 7-Eleven right across the street, so I would go and pick up my lunch there when I wasn't being, cheap and just like getting the cheapest food, because like I was broke as heck, and I was just getting the cheapest food at every point, because I was just like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, if I can skip lunch, I'm going to skip lunch, because I'm so broke, because I want to go to all these places, but I'm spending money on transport and I can't afford this. I don't have a job. But eventually I got a job there, so that worked out. But anyway, the 7-Eleven, they had bento boxes like prepared, and I had a favorite that I would go to. I don't remember everything that was inside of it, but they didn't have it, so I tried a different one out the other day. Because after the lunch hour, like, the bentos are so picked through, like, you are lucky to find anything. Like, seriously, they're so picked through, even the sandwiches. I wish I had pictures I could put up of the 7-Elevens there, for my own pictures. But, or the vending machines. The vending machines are so cool. I'll tell you about those in a second. Yeah, I was trying to explain to my host family that I had gotten a bento box, and I was explaining to them that I had a tamanegi in it. And they were like, tamanegi means onion. I thought it meant egg. So I was explaining, they're like, so they just had a whole onion just sitting right in there. And I'm like, yeah, it was great. I love onions. And then I was like, oh, I mean eggs. And they were like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. So what other things? Kurumono and kodomo. Kurumono means fruit, kodomo means children. At one point during class, someone made the mistake of saying, I enjoy eating children. Or, what's your favorite child to eat? Something to that extent. That was great. Oh, what other things? The awkwardness of trying to lend my host sister my manga, because I was reading D. Gray Man, and I was super psyched that she was possibly interested in reading this as well. And so I was trying to explain to her, you can take and read this if you'd like. You can borrow this, but I didn't remember how to say borrow, and I was just freezing up. So, of course, the younger one, Nana, she comes over and she translates for me. She was acting as my translator the entire time. I would say things in, terribly broken Japanese, and she would be able to figure out what I was trying to say and explain it for me. Oh, thank goodness for Nana. She saved my butt on so many occasions, especially when there was the 3-year-old, and the 3-year-old was just speaking to me in broken Japanese, 3-year-old Japanese, and I was just like, I have no idea what you're trying to express to me, because imagine, you know how hard it is to talk to little kids, and they'll be coming at you with, little, babbling English and stuff, and you're like, oh, you can kind of get what they're trying to say, they have the syntax all messed up, and all, but you know English well enough to where you know what they're trying to say. Well, if you don't know English well enough, and you have someone coming at you talking with, the syntax all out of order and the wrong words and baby noises mixed in, you just be completely lost, like I was. Or maybe you would be fine. I don't know. I can't speak for everyone, but I was totally lost. And so that was probably the most difficult experience I had, was trying to speak to the 3-year-old. Yeah, that whole day, that was interesting, because it was meeting my host mother's parents, and I got so shy, I froze up, and so I was just practically silent. So I was so lucky and happy that I had a chance to redeem myself and meet them a second time and actually talk and be like, no, I can speak Japanese, and I'm thankful for thank you for cooking for me, thank you for speaking with me, I am enjoying my time here, and so on and so forth. So that was fun. Yeah, these are really vague stories. I don't even know if they're interesting. So, I don't know, I did a lot of stupid things. Getting lost in the subways was one of them, especially when I had my two friends with me, and they were like kind of counting on me to get the subway system right, and I messed up, and we were lost, heading in the complete opposite direction because I was too busy playing Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance on my friend's DS, and or might have been PS Vita, I'm not sure. Yeah, so I did that, and then I got lost and wound up at a host club. And unfortunately it didn't turn out like Orin High School host club, but yeah. So, yeah, there's some ramblings about my adventures in Japan. Not a very quality video, I apologize. I'll try to get something more detailed and more, you know, thought out tomorrow. Yeah, until then, Queer Cashier out.